practices in the past few years, it's not unusual to see like Jessica Davenport or Sammy Corrales or Jantel Lavender come wandering in. Is that, do you hope that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely hope that, and more. And I think certainly with the people that had just played, it's probably very comfortable for them to come back. They still know players and people on staff, but I want to reach back even further and just tap into the tradition that we have here, because there's, like I said, this is a great program with a very storied past. And I want everyone to feel really comfortable, and I want them to be around to be role models for our current players. I think that's really important. So, you know, we want to really work hard to develop this program on all those fronts.
Do you think the Big Ten in general needs to get better at recruiting nationally and so on and so forth? Do you want to speak to that?
You know, probably not. I mean, first and foremost, just trying to get my arms wrapped around exactly what we need to do here to put ourselves in position to compete, certainly at the top of this league and nationally. You know, I think though there's, you know, we're adding Rutgers and Maryland very quickly here, and no one's going to accuse them of not doing a good job recruiting here in recent years. So I think there's plenty of people doing a great job in our league. Certainly, I think, you know, there's a lot of great coaches and a lot of coaches I have tremendous respect for. So I think you'll continue to see this league move in a positive direction and one that competes nationally at the top of women's basketball.
With Maryland and Rutgers coming in, you know, that's all the Big Ten expansion talk. One thing I wondered, is the Big Ten network something that you can really use in recruiting in terms of exposure, that especially with women's basketball, that every Ohio State game is going to be on one way or another, which maybe a lot of other programs can't say?
No, I think that's a huge thing. And I can tell you, I was at Xavier when the Big Ten network first came online, and it made a huge impression on recruits and so forth immediately, because in women's basketball in general, we've struggled to get media exposure and specifically on TV. Now that we have so many games on the Big Ten network and so forth, that's a huge advantage for us. And you see people now all around the country trying to copy what we've done here in the Big Ten. And, you know, having just come from the Pac-12, they've tried to do the same thing. And it's a big deal because kids, they want to play on TV. And now for us to be able to, you know, tell people in New Jersey and, you know, D.C. area, and just opens up new markets for us, and it's a really exciting thing for us.
Kevin, what's the outward perception of the Big Ten? I mean, you're around the country. I mean, people say, well, it's not a very good league in women's basketball. What's the perception?
Yeah, you know, I think a league that has a lot of really good teams, but maybe not looked at as having the same depth as other conferences. But like I said, I have a lot of respect for the coaches in this conference, and I think there's some really good coaches that have their programs on the right track, and I think in the coming years we're going to be a league that is looked at as one of the elite.
Does it take just one team to make a deep run?
I mean,
kind of change
I think that can help start to alter the perception a little bit. But the thing about the Big Ten, from what I've seen, is, you know, maybe we haven't had that team break through to the Final Four in recent years, but we are a really deep league. And when you look at it from top to bottom, there's no easy nights. Every game is going to be tough and going to be a war. And so when you look at it that way, I think we're one of the best in the country from that perspective. But, you know, a lot of, whether we like it or not, people are judged what they do in March, whether it's an individual program or a conference. And so, you know, hey, I think we'll see some teams break through here very soon and be in Sweet 16 and Elite Eights and Final Fours.
You've had meetings with the players. What type of concerns that they have? Nobody really likes change, you know, and everybody's a little apprehensive. What did you tell them that set them that, you know, it's a clean slate and, you know, you're coming in here at an even level?
Well, just that it's a clean slate, and I'm not going to dig too much into what had gone on, good or bad, in the past. It's everybody's got a fresh start, and so they need to take advantage of it. And I think as much as anything, they just want to get a sense of who I am as a coach, what my expectations are, what our style of play is going to be, and how we're going to do things. And that's what will allow them to be comfortable. And we have a really great opportunity, this being the first summer that we can actually work out with our players, and that's going to start for us next week. So it won't be like we get to the fall and they're just wondering what I'm going to be like as a coach. They'll have a great opportunity to get a sense for that here starting next week.
I'm sorry, that must be a big advantage that they don't have to wait until the fall. I mean, they can talk to you. You can't see them even in pickup games or anything like that, but how much of an advantage is that for you in this situation that you'll be able to get with those?
Great advantage for our players to understand what's important to me and how I'm going to coach them on the floor. Great opportunity for me to get a sense of what our strengths and weaknesses are so we can start to craft the right style of play specifically for what we're going to do. So a great opportunity and it's one that I'm really excited for.
When you talk about tempo and things like that, and again, I'm not casting aspersions on anything that happened here, but there were times, we saw that it's not as easy to just say we're going to run. I mean, what do you or play up tempo? What does it take to really just get that established?
Well, I think twofold. One, what I want to do is start to establish how we're going to do things, and I certainly, from an offensive standpoint, want a very aggressive up-tempo style of play. But at the same time, we have some great kids, and we have some seniors in our program that I want to help them have the best year they could possibly have. Mm-hmm. So it may be a bit of a happy medium in that we're going to start to establish a style of play. It can give us direction in recruiting. But at the same time, maybe not do everything that we may be doing years down the road because it doesn't quite fit this current group. And so that's what we can start to figure out, though, next week when I can see them on the court a little bit more.
What's the recruitment process been like? How much are you focusing in state and what kind of talent are you finding at home?
Well, there's, obviously in general, a lot of great kids in the state, and I want that to be a very important part of what we do here at Ohio State. I don't think there's anything more exciting than to have success on a national level at Ohio State and do it with Ohio kids. So that's an important part of our strategy. And, so far people have been very receptive. They know how special a place Ohio State is, and it's just a matter of seeing, who really fits in our program with how we're going to move forward and what the style of play is going to be. But we'll be very, very aggressive in trying to keep the best and brightest in the state of Ohio here as Buckeyes.
What does it take with the new staff to get ready for the kind of success that you expect and that the Steelers does?
I've been very fortunate to put together a fantastic staff. I think we have one of the best coaching staffs in all of college basketball, and our expectation is at some point to win a national championship, and I think we have the right people here to do it.
What are you noticing with the players that are already here and that you came in with?
The thing I've noticed most are great kids. I've really enjoyed getting to know them. I think they really want to do the right thing. They want to be a part of a successful program. So I'm just really excited to get out there on the court and start to let them know how I'm going to coach them and how we're going to do things.
If you had to put your style of play and what you want to see on the court and 1 and 2, what would it be?
Really aggressive on both ends of the court, and that we're going to play with toughness.